Okay, we've reviewed the related statistical information, we've prepared the data file, now it's time to bring it all together. This might seem like it's a little too simple after all that work, but SPSS actually does make it pretty easy. We use descriptive statistics in two separate parts of the manuscript, the participant section and the results section. We're describing the sample in both sections, but from different perspectives and for a different purpose. In the participant section, it helps provide context for the results, so we can think about generalizability. In the results section, it helps us understand the variables of interest, and in most cases, it contributes to what we know from the inferential statistics. When we're conducting the analysis for the results section, the process of obtaining the inferential results usually gives the option of running descriptive statistics at the same time. We need to know how to obtain descriptive statistics on their own, though, for the participant section, and for other situations when we just need those descriptive statistics. The first step for descriptive statistics is to open the data file in SPSS and go to the Analyze menu at the top. Then select Descriptive Statistics. For our purpose, selecting frequencies is the most efficient way to conduct the analysis. After we select frequencies in the Analyze menu, we should have a dialog box that looks like the one in this slide. The next step is to select the variable or variables we want to analyze by clicking in the box at the left side. We usually select the demographic variables and scale scores. We don't usually do descriptive statistics on individual questions. Note, too, that the scale scores are usually at the bottom of the list of the variables in that box on the left. After we click on the variables, we click on the arrow at the middle to move the variables to the box at the right side, the variables list. The last step in this dialog box is to click on the button labeled Statistics. When we click on the Statistics button in the Variables dialog, we'll see this dialog. We'll focus on the upper right section and the lower left section. We select the statistics we want to include in our analysis by clicking on the box to the left of the name of that statistic. Keep in mind, SPSS will let us select anything we'd like, and we'll do the analysis, even if it doesn't make sense given the way the variable was measured. Given that, you might want to go through the process twice, once for categorical variables and once for numerical. For example, when you're finding the information for the participant section, you might run the analysis for gender and ethnicity variables, then reset and run it again for age. After we're done selecting statistics, we click Continue. Running the risk of being repetitive, I really want to emphasize this point. SPSS is a really sophisticated program, but it can't think for us. It won't tell us that a particular analysis doesn't make any sense given our data or our variables. That's why we have to make sure to think through what we're doing. If you want to hear the full story about why I make such a point of mentioning this, feel free to drop by my office. Returning to the main dialog, we'll leave the Display Frequency Tables option checked. That'll give us a table for each variable that lists the frequency for each response. Then we'll click OK. And shazam! We have results in the output window. The top table includes the results for each of the statistics we selected. They're in the rows with each variable in the column. The row labeled N, capital N, valid, is the number of cases that had the values for the variable. And the row labeled capital N, missing, is the number of cases that were missing data. There will also be a frequency table for each variable we analyzed. Sometimes this information is less informative, but it's easiest to keep it in the output in case we need it. This is where we would find the number of participants in each category for a categorical variable. That's the number in the column labeled frequency. The percentage column is the percentage of the entire sample that had that value, whereas the valid percentage is the percentage of valid cases that had that number. Remember, valid cases are the ones that had a value for this variable or responded to all the questions for the variable. The cumulative percentage column is the percentage of cases with a score equal to or less than this value. That can be informative for numerical values if we have a scale like strongly agree and want to know the percentage that didn't disagree. Note, too, like other things we've learned about, APA style has a specific format for reporting the results, and the SPSS tables are not in APA style format. The APA template and other resources for this class includes the details about APA style formatting for statistics.